It is just over 16 hours ago now that I did this glue up. And it's pretty hard. Not completely hard, but hard enough that it's not going to fall apart, that's for sure. While we're watching the clamps being removed, this would be a really good time to mention that Windsor Plywood already saw episode number 5. You know, where I complained about the board being just a little over 7 feet long, but I got charged for 8? Well, the guy assured me that that was just a simple mistake. That was not their policy. So I told him, I'm really glad it's not your policy. You want to see mistakes? You just watch my videos. Anyway, I thought I better clear that up. Some people might be wondering, how did I make out? And I guess there's another thing I should clear up from episode number 5, and that is, I guess it was a little bit presumptuous on my part to expect everybody to know what I was talking about when I said I'm going to go and visit my wife. Well, my wife has Alzheimer's, and she's been in a care home for almost 2 years now. And that's what I was going to do. I was going to go to the care home. Now my thinking is to try and take off as much glue as possible here without gouging the wood. And the reason I want to take this off is because I'm going to be running it through my drum sander soon, and I don't want to gum up the sandpaper, the sanding belts, any more than necessary. I think I waited a little bit too long here. I should have maybe taken it off when it was just a little bit softer. But generally doing this, I get 90% of it off. Well, anyway, you get the idea. So I flip my board over to do the other side, and I go along here and I just take it off one really nice long strip of glue. Worked beautiful. But that was when I didn't have the camera running. Well, you're just going to have to take my word for it. It usually works very, very well. Generally what happens is that you just take it off like this. Anyway, now I realize I could pass this piece through the drum sander just the way it is. But if I do, I'm probably going to get a tiny little bit of snipe on the last little, 2.5, 3 inches here. And I find that if I make a carrier like this, like a sled, and then put some rails on the side, what happens is the rollers, the pinch rollers in the drum sander will ride on these rails and then drop off. And by that time, the drum will have passed over the edge here, and you don't get the snipe. Kind of hard to understand, but trust me, it works. Now I realize that I kind of stripped this one out. However, all it has to do is just hold this in place so that when the sander goes over it, it doesn't shoot it back out at me. And of course the heads have to be recessed, otherwise the sandpaper is going to take them off. Anyway, I know that this will work okay. You just have to put something across here now so that it doesn't work its way back. Well, maybe it won't anyway. Oh, yeah, it will. Okay. I'll just put a little piece of wood there. Or just a screw. Now, for those of you that's wondering what's inside this thing, I'm sure that probably everybody does, but anyway, just in case somebody's never seen it before, this is what we've got. We've got 80 grit and 120 grit. The idea is that the coarse sandpaper takes it down and then the fine sandpaper polishes it. And that's what's supposed to happen. Usually does too. And it spins very fast. And then there's a conveyor that feeds it through. Now, not that fast. I'll be slowing it down. Probably about like that. Anyway, now what I got to do is adjust it so that it's going to just start kissing the wood here. Then I'll back it off so that I can get the board out. Then I'll readjust it to the same place and I'll put it through the first time. Okay, there we go. I'll turn one turn. Alright. Now we'll put the lid down. I can pull this back. Once I pull it out, I'll turn it to turn back again. And, well, you'll see. Now you couldn't have helped but notice I was rubbing my hand across it like this. Well, what I was doing was I was feeling for any cold spots. It felt quite warm. Not hot, but quite warm. And if there was a cold spot, I'd know that it hadn't been sanded. And it was sanding nice and even all the way across. I don't know how much I lost here. I'm going to measure it to find out. But anyway, now I'm not going to stick my macro lens on to show you how good that joined together there, but the line has to be right here because I can see it here and I can see where it joins together here, so this has to be the line, but it's really nice. Same on the other side. The grain blended together really, really well. Now if I take the bottom of the bowl down a little bit to give it a bit of a dished effect, you know, I can't guarantee that the grain is going to stay the same, but just hope for the best. Anyway, thanks for watching.